YouTube, today I'm going to be doing a theatre review on a show called Girls Like That, which was by Evan Placey and directed by Esther Baker. I hope you enjoyed, so let's start. Due to the pandemic that is currently going on, there are a lot of opportunities for me to see some videotaped performances instead. And one of the ones that I've watched is Girls Like That. And it is a really relevant show because of the current situation might be putting some pressure on some couples out there who might be considering sending a nude to each other. But this show really is an example of what might happen, and to think twice before doing something that might end up changing your life forever. First of all, I will give you a quick rundown of the plot of the story. First of all, there is a girl called Scarlett who has her nudes leaked out to the school, and believe it or not, it goes around the whole school and everyone ends up shaming her, and this ends up with her being bullied severely, and she ends up going missing, and she ends up becoming very depressed, and she goes to another school. This does not help her, however, when she goes on a date with her new boyfriend in her new school, and she ends up running into her previous school classmates, and then they share the nude photo with him, and that goes around her new school. So she basically has a dilemma here, where everywhere she goes she seems to just be haunted by this one picture that she took. There are many other small things that happen, but this is just a quick rundown. I highly recommend that you watch it by yourself, since it is an entertaining show to watch, and it is definitely a good message that they have inside the show. Throughout the story, you also see some small snippets of Scarlett's ancestors who are fighting for women's rights, or at least for independence. The message of Girls Like That focuses on two things: the empowerment of women through some of the stories from Scarlett's ancestors, as I said before, and the awareness of your actions on other people's lives and the importance of sticking together and not turning your back on people. There are a few details that happened in the show that were very good and impacted the audience quite a lot. These were things like lighting and the set, and how they set out the chairs, or the spacing, and how far or close they were to each other. There are scenes in the show where they are representing how social media is being used to share the photo. The stage blacks out and the social media messages start scrolling down the stage, and it is very effective since the students who are sharing the photos, are in the dark. And it almost feels like they have a sense of anonymity, which most people feel like they have when they are online, even though that is sometimes not true. It is like blending into the crowd, and the more you blend in, the less responsibility you feel like you have. And this idea was supported when they said someone else will do it when they received the picture and decided not to delete it but to share it. Since at the beginning they are very, very far away from each other and they are never seen close to each other. This shows that they had not really much of a sense of unity, and the words that came from their mothers of them being their best friends for life was quite ironic, since they were actually not so close, and they were in fact quite aggressive almost towards each other, since there was this hierarchy that some were better than others, while some were lower down, such as Scarlett, who was seen to be at the bottom of the hierarchy. Following the social media scene, there is an echo of forward, tweet, post, send, and this is a simple yet effective way of showing how fast the pictures must have got around. Another is when the girls see Scarlett out of school and they decide to share the photo, they decide to gradually call her name louder and louder. This gets more and more intense until you are almost deafened by how loudly they are screaming and mocking her for her actions, and this really represents how terrible Scarlett must be feeling when she was just out on a nice day out with her boyfriend, and she just runs into her past and just drowns in this sense of why are they here? Why have my mistakes come back to haunt me even though I've left it behind. One powerful line that is said by one of the characters is, "Or else they will peck each other to death." I'm not sure why, but maybe it's because a vulnerable chicken is putting the whole flock at risk or something. Now, this makes not much sense out of context, so I will explain. In the play, there is a scene where one of the girls talks about how there is a whole flock of hens, and this is representing the girls. And when one of them starts to bleed, the other chickens will start pecking them. And nobody really knows why they do it, but apparently one of the reasons could be because one vulnerable chicken is putting the whole flock at risk. This is a quite well done line, since one, the character who says it seems quite innocent and most childlike out of them, and hearing her saying violent things from her suddenly puts us on edge. And also, the violent analogy really shows what, even though they might just be a bunch of teenage girls, can actually end up being very vicious, so much that it can also seem to draw blood. If you enjoyed the video, I hope that it entertained you, and I hope that it made you want to watch the show. I highly recommend that you watch it, since it was really entertaining for me. And if you have an hour or so of free time, go ahead and watch it at the Unicorn Theatre website. I will leave a link in the description. But for now, I'll see you next time. Bye bye!